Okay, today we're continuing Chapter 6, Ratio and Proportion. So today is 6.4, Unit Conversion in the Metric System. So if you thought the American system was hard, the metric system is going to be so much easier. You're going to wish everybody converted to the metric system in the US. So the metric system is based on the base 10 system. So basically powers of 10. So 10 to the n. So if it's a positive n, we move to the right. If it's negative n, we move to the left. And it's all just about moving decimal places. That's all about metric system is as long as you know where you're at in the metric system, you can get to anywhere else by just moving your decimal place. So symmetric prefixes here, we have deca, which is equal to dA, which is 10. We have hecto, which is H, and that's equal to 100. And then we have the kilo, which is K, and that's equal to 1,000. Then we have on the other side, the small ones, deci, which is D, that's 1/10. Centi, that's an I there, is equal to C is equal to 1 over 100, and milli is equal to M, and that's 1 over 1,000. Now, if we multiply a decimal by a number 10 to the n, that's going to move the decimal place in places to the right. Okay, so if we're multiplying by 10 to the fourth, we're going to move it 4 places to the right. Now, if we divide a decimal by a power 10 to the n, that's going to move the decimal place in places to the left. And so we're going to, if we're dividing by 10 to the third, we're going to move it in places, which is 3 spots to the left. And so that's how it's going to work. Now, these are all assuming that our n is positive in these cases, because if you're multiplying by negative, you're going to end up moving left, and if you're dividing by negative, you're going to actually move to the right. So we're assuming n is going to be greater than 0 here. Now we have, again, 3 units of measurement. Last one we had time also, but this one we just have the meters and grams and liters for length, mass, and volume. Seconds is the only unit for the measurement in the metric system, so we don't have to worry about that one. And so these are the 3 we're going to look at. And what we have is, this is how our metric systems line out. We have our base unit, so this can be either meters, it can be grams, or it can be liters. It doesn't matter which one it is, it's always the base unit. That's one of these here pieces, the metric, or the meter, the gram, or the liter. And then we can go either to the left and get really large, kilo being 1,000, or we can go right, all the way to the right, it'd be a milli, which is 1,000th. And we can move between the systems. And all we have to do is we just start at wherever we are beginning with. Say they want to have us start at, you have so many centimeters, and they want us to move to hectometers. Well, we just have to move 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the left, and now we have hectometers. Okay, and so it's not a bad system, because it's really easy. It's all just about moving your decimal place. So let's think about this. Here we have 8,528 millimeters, and we want to convert to meters. Well, we could do the unit conversion like we did before. And so if we need to know where our units is, how many millimeters are into a meter, well, there's a 1,000. And so we can say, okay, well, there's, there it goes, 1,000 millimeters is in 1 meter. And so if we take this number and divide it by this, we're moving it basically 3 places. So that's going to give us 8.528 meters. Because, after we do our conversions, the millimeters are gone, we're left with meters. And so we can do it like we did the other stuff and just do the regular, this divided by this is equal to this, and that's going to be then our answer. Or what we can think about is, we are going to start at millimeters. And so in this case, we'll be at 8,528 millimeters. And we want to get to meters, which is here, which is our base unit. So we want to get to this point. And so what do we have to do? Well, we have to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left. So if we start with 8,528, the decimal starts there. We move it 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left, we're at 8.528, which is, guess what we have here. And so we can do the unit conversion like this, or if we can remember this, or we can use our chart, then we can just directly just move the decimal place, and we don't have to worry about any conversions. We just move decimals. All right, so here we have 12 meters over 1. And if we want to go to centimeters, we can do that. We can do it just like we did before. And 1 meter is going to be 100 centimeters. And so when we go ahead and make sure we cancel out, our meters cancel, we're left with centimeters, which is what we want. And so 12 times 100 is 1200 centimeters, okay? Now, if we go back to our other thing, we had 12 meters. So we were at this base unit right here. And so we had 12 to start with now. And we wanted to get to centi here. We're going to move 2 spaces to the right. And if we move 2 spaces to the right, what we basically have is 12. And then we have to add some zeros here. That's where we started. And we 2 spaces to the right. Now we're here, which is 1, 2, 0, 0, and 1, 2, 0, 0. That's what we end up with. And then we have the same way, again, both decimals matching the 1200 centimeters, okay? So this time, let's not worry about actually doing our, dimensional analysis. Let's just move decimal places. So we have to think about it. We had kilo as on the left, then it was hecto, then it was deca, and then it was our base unit. And so that's as far as we need, because this is our base unit. And so we're going to start here, 4.9 kilometers. And we're going to move 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. So if we go ahead and put in some zeros for placeholders, we start with 4.9, we move 1, 2, 3. That gives us 4900 meters. And that would be our answer. And all we had to do is remember how it went down. And again, that the original thing will be given to you. And so all you have to do is look at it and say, oh, move it 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, or however many, because sometimes we're going to end up moving onto this side too. So we might start with kilo and then go all the way over here to milli. And so, we have to know how many spaces to move to the right to get to that spot. All right, now we're working with grams. And again, it really doesn't matter in a metric system what our units are. Grams, before that were meters and stuff. So as long as we know our base unit is what it is, all we have to do is move decimal places. All right, so this time we have 516 milligrams, and we want to get to centigrams. Well, okay, let's go back to our thing in case we forgot. Now we're on this side. We don't have the left side this time. We're on this side. We have milli, centi, deci, base. So let's write that out. We have the base, then we have deci, and then we have centi, and then we have milli. Okay, and we're going from milli to centi. So we're going 1 space to the left. Well, if we go 1 space to the left, we have 516, move 1 space to the left, we're right there. And so that gives us 51.6 centigrams, okay? And so that would be our answer. And again, just based on our numbers here, we just have to move the decimal places. All right, so here's one where we actually have to go the whole distance. So we're gonna go kilo, and then we have hecto, then we have deca, then we have our base unit, then we have our deci, and then we have our centi, and then we have our milli, okay? And so we're going 61 kilograms to milligrams. So we're gonna start here, and we're gonna go 61, and we're gonna go move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces to the right. So we're going to have 61 to start with, and then we have to add a bunch of zeros, and we'll move 6 spaces. So we'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost didn't add enough zeros. And so that's going to give us 6, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be milligrams. Okay. And so that would be our answer here. And so if we think about it, we're going from a large unit, kilograms, that's we can weigh people in kilograms, to milligrams, which are usually what our drugs are made in, milligrams, sometimes micrograms, it's going to be, somewhere in that range. And so this is going to be what we would expect. It would be a very large number of milligrams when we convert from a kilogram to the milligram. Okay, and 61 kilograms is about a body size, and so that's what you might weigh in milligrams if you weigh 61 kilograms. All right, so now we're going from centiliters to kiloliters. All right, so here we have kilo, then we have hecto, then we have deca, then we have our base unit, and then we have deci, and then we have centi, and then we have milli. And so we're starting here at centi, and I'm not going to write all those numbers down, but we're going to go all the way over here to killi. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to the left. So we start with 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 2, and we want to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to give us 6.78962 kiloliters. Okay. And again, notice we've changed to another unit of volume. And so, or a different unit. We're in volume now. Before we were in mass, and then we were before that in length. And so we've got to all of them, and we haven't had to do anything about, like, inches to feet, or fluid ounces to cups, or any of those things. It's all just moving the decimal place. So this is so much nicer compared to the American system. All right, so here we have liters to milliliters. Well, that's going to be our base as our liters. Then we're going to deci, centi, and milli. And so we're going to start here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. And so 17.3, add a few zeros. And so we move 3 spaces to the right. 1, 2, 3. And so our number now is 17300 milliliters. Okay. Now, I wish this was kind of a science class, because then I could show you kind of the difference between what a milliliter looks like and a liter looks like. But milliliter is really small, and so it's going to be a small value. A liter is big. It's kind of like your quart jars you drink out of or whatever. And so that's a large value. And so we would expect there to be a lot of milliliters in 1 liter, and there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. And so that's why there's now 17,300 milliliters in 17.3 liters. Okay. So another thing to note is that all of this stuff here really gets you, if you have to take Chem 1000, this will be a lot of the stuff you're going to be using. The American units, the metric units, and then in the next section we'll do metric to American, and so you'll have kind of conversions between both. Okay. And that's all I have for today.